Well, thanks everyone for coming. Welcome. Thanks for coming to Dreamforce. Like, is this like legit? This is like a tech conference, right? We got the Red Hot Chili Peppers last night. Was that fun?
Yes.
Like seriously, like it's like really. So, in all sincerity, and it's really, really hard to sound sincere on a microphone. Thank you for being a part of our Ohana, for being here tonight or this afternoon and joining us. My name is Brandon Stauber, and I am the Global HLS Health and Life Sciences Tech Strategy Lead for our partner ecosystem. And I'm really excited today to have Joseph Mercorella, the CEO of Lumary, here to talk about a viable and economic health tech platform for medtech. Joe, let me hand it over to you.
Yeah.
Introduction.
Thanks very much, Brendan. I mean, it's been an amazing experience. We haven't been back for a while, and so I don't ever recall it being quite as integrated as it's been this year. I think it's a phenomenal performance that Salesforce has done at Dreamforce, and we've had some amazing conversations, and we just come back from a real in-depth healthcare provider network with lots of different app exchange partners, and it's just a lot of promising signs, and it's just super excited about the whole experience and opportunity that is ready for unfolding. And so, but yeah, just a big thank you as well to Dreamforce and Salesforce putting this all on. And yeah, so I'm Joseph Mercorella. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lumary. I've been in healthcare for quite some time, for 12 years now. I've been using the Salesforce platform for also 12 years. Originally started my journey off as a software engineer, short-lived, as my co-founder's partner will joke regularly with me, but moved into more analytical roles, architecture, consulting, and have a real passion for business and driving outcomes for success, in particular in healthcare. And so that's what Lumary is all about, and loving the opportunity to share our story and our journey and what we've done to help healthcare providers. So yeah.
Terrific. So it's really exciting because Lumary was the 2022 APAC ISV Partner Innovation of the Year award winner. Did I get all that right? It's
yeah.
there's a lot of words in
There's
there.
a lot of words,
which is great. So tell us a little bit more about Lumary and what you folks are doing that's so unique in the ecosystem.
Yeah, so well, firstly, I'll just touch on about the session today, how it's about really focused on healthcare providers and truly bringing a difference to the way that they operate successfully using technology. So Lumary is all about technology and about enabling it. Our belief and motto is better well-being through technology. And so it's what we're about. And so, yeah, so we're here about to talk about how we can actually make that economical and viable for your business. It can be very confusing and daunting, trying to integrate technology into your business. And as a healthcare provider, I mean, fundamentally, from all our customers and everyone that we've spoken to over the last several years, primary purpose is to serve and help the community. The technology is meant to be an enabler and to help you do that better with all the administration burdens that you're faced with. And so Lumary is all about aggregating and bringing that all together to make that easy for you. So that's what the purpose of today's session is. And so if everyone walks away and gets a better understanding that technology is more your friend and how you can make it better incorporated in your business, well, then we've done our job here. So, but more about Lumary. We're really driven, our mission is really driven by our impact into the community. So basically, our goal and aim is to enable healthcare organizations and providers to really provide better care and outcomes for the community. And we know that technology is the enabler to go facilitate that and achieve that. So it's a big part of what we're about. Some of the principles that we use in order to really strategize and bring that to the forefront is the way that we see that every dollar that is spent, and provision for care to healthcare providers for those that are receiving it should be available to them to provision. And what we've seen over many years is that there's a lot of waste in tech. So our mission and our model was about leveraging, incorporating, and bringing it all together that makes meaningful sense for healthcare providers to really make a difference in their practice. And so we do that by way of ecosystem and partnership with Salesforce, of course, being our major partner and our platform provider powering everything, but also lots of other app exchange solutions that not always even obvious to our customers what's actually being utilized under the hood. But there's a simple and single interface and experience which really enables the operations of a healthcare provider business to be truly successful and easy to operate. And that's what we focus on. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, so we talk about like the digital journey and like the ecosystem and going beyond that pathway. I want to hear like how Lumary has taken that path and your journey in particular, because we know that we want to go digital first,
yeah.
but it's not really easy to happen. We just came from this great summit,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of partners there, and we're all working towards the same space to try to get improved outcomes, improved equity, improved access, improved adequacy. How can technology talk to us through like that journey that you've gone through and how you're like your point of view on how we can get there using Salesforce as a platform?
Yeah, so I think it's probably really important to understand where we've sort of come from, and the essence of that. Healthcare for providers has been around for, the technology's been around for a long, long time, and it's tricky to consume. And so it's really important that we understand what we can actually do, each of the specialization in every application to really contribute to the outcomes for the healthcare providers. And so we've come away from our discussion today, and it's about really bringing together this understanding and making it work as a unified approach versus it being disparate and not well integrated. Yeah, and so I think that's what Lumary is about. We're about bringing that all together and making it work. Yeah.
So what's the journey? Like how, if you're thinking about going on this path, what advice would you give, or what's the kind of the evolution?
Yeah, I think these slides that we're going to refer to now is probably a really important part, because if we go through the journey of digital transformation for healthcare providers, we get a really understanding of what they've had to experience as they've tried to adopt technology in their business. And so if we look at this particular slide here about the beginning, there's a lot of point solution systems in market, but unfortunately, where this beginning, there was lots of good things about it. It helped organizations start and operate their business successfully from day one, but the operating model of the business was based on the technology. And as an organization who's trying to operate something, uniquely and specifically for your strategic means and brand, you can't really achieve that if the technology is a restrictor. And so what we would do is we would bring in different systems and try to interface them together, or not have them interface at all. And it meant that we didn't get that continuation. And then if we look at like the sort of next evolutional phase of healthcare, where everyone sort of said, well, if the point solution is not helping me, then I've got to build what I need in order to achieve that. The only problem with that is if you have to build everything, including your regulatory compliance, all the things that are standard, that's important for a healthcare provider to operate, you're not getting an ROI on that. It's not viable, it's not economical, and it's not sustainable. And so that was the next sort of phase and journey. And then the third phase is where we started with Salesforce, which is use the platform and provide some specific capability through packages to truly enable that level of cloud first, customer experience, everything that Salesforce is really strong at, the reportability, the security and the scalability. So many good elements that were brought in based on having access to an operating platform like Salesforce. But still there was some drawbacks, because what actually happened in some cases was we went to customize and configure too much, some of the stuff that we've spoken about today. And got to know where to draw the line in knowing what's actually important and valuable versus what's not. And so that's where we've combined over the last few years with Salesforce, providing all the goodness around the infrastructure, the platform, the app exchange and all that. And then Lumary providing the specialization, the subject matter for healthcare providers around compliance and financial management and care plans that actually makes sense to an organization and their technology. Now we've got the essence of like a point solution with the power of a SaaS platform. And now we're really shifting a gear, and it's essentially we can offer twice the amount of technology at half the price of whatever's been able to offer before, which is amazing.
Yeah, I love this like fourth generation
Yeah.
perspective. We talk a lot at Salesforce about the next industrial revolution, and now we're here at the 20th anniversary of Dreamforce, and we're back and we're turning the page and all of that. And I have to say that the Lumary story actually inspired a big part of our ISV strategy. You know, we talk about bringing new capabilities together. We talk about creating new value chains in healthcare, and that can be done, but very few people think about Salesforce as a platform to build that on. So like not having to build all that infrastructure and have that health tech built on Salesforce so that you can focus exclusively on that unique value proposition, those value chains that are so important. So that has become a big part of our ISV, our app exchange strategy.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And
Oh, happy to.
you know, like some of the lessons that, that you folks have done, I mean, you're innovating in that area and you're certainly a thought leader in this. So from that perspective, what advice or tips, as you start thinking, more deeply about a company that might be going through that journey and they're on stage 2 or stage 3 and they want to get to stage 4, how might you get there?
Well, it's tricky because without the likes of Lumaries, it just doesn't have to be Lumary. There can be many Lumaries out there in market. Hopefully, we've started a bit of a trend. What you're saying, but essentially, you need the Lumary type for something very highly commoditized in the service and very regulated and complex. You need a Lumary coupled with it. So when you assess and looking to incorporate something like a Salesforce on that journey, you have to understand, who do you want to be? Do you want to be a healthcare company or do you want to be a technology company? Because if you want to be a technology company and have a product in there, then there's a lot more work on your side in order to actually go achieve that. And I think that's what a lot of learnings have been sort of made over the last several years, in particular in the healthcare provider space, is that is quite an investment and a commitment that not everyone's prepared to do. So as healthcare providers make that and go through that process of analysis, really what they need to be looking at is who can truly partner and strategize with me end to end and helps me transform in the right way. And there's a slide that will come to soon, which talks about the actual transformation journey. But before that, it's not all just about the technology, because you need also the supporting services to enable that. And you need to know when to incorporate that in and when to outsource and bring third parties and system integrators into the mix to extend your overall platform. And so what Lumary's done is make sure that we incorporate enough of the services and the subject matter expertise to ensure healthcare providers can adopt technology correctly and really go on that journey of truly using, everything that is here and shown around, BI reporting, marketing, sales, and all that sort of stuff, all the goodness that Salesforce brings, that we've actually started that right journey, that pathway to consume all that. Yeah. You can't build a good house on a bad foundation. And I think that's what's happened a lot in market for a long period of time.
So we've been talking today a lot about like the building on the platform and going and having that platform as an economical and viable platform. But that actually has an impact. We're the technology side, but Lumary is successful because you're driving an outcome that's associated with that. So I know it's not the focus of this conversation, but I wanted to just share for a minute, like, what is the outcome of the folks that, that you're doing at Lumary? What does that impact actually drive in the ecosystem? Just even for us,
Yeah,
one idea.
Yeah, look, in many cases, and we really focus on sub verticals within healthcare, so very niche markets that are truly underserved with technology and don't have the level of capital required in order to actually integrate technology and systems. But the basic things, like there's a lot of overhead and administration that healthcare providers need to do, and it distracts them and takes away energies focused on actually delivering care, which therefore doesn't mean that those that actually need it aren't getting the outcomes and the improvement being made. So essentially, technology should be doing the right thing, which is optimizing and minimizing the amounts of overhead, and through automation and a lot more process flow, organizations can actually reduce the administration costs and properly serve their customers, which is why they started a healthcare practice. It wasn't to be burdened down by compliance and technology, So yeah,
doing well by doing good.
100%, and it's part of our giving back. We've got the same sort of policies around 1% in Lumary as Salesforce does. We're really big in connecting with our customers. We wouldn't be here today without our customers. They have educated us significantly over the last several years So I have to give a lot of thanks and gratitude to them, taking us on the journey and truly helping us understand the insights that we need in order to deliver better outcomes for them and their business practice. So, Brandon, I was going to go to the next slide. I know you're interviewing me a bit, but this next slide, I wanted to take you on a little bit about that journey that you were sort of talking about before, which is, and the foundation and getting things right. But if you don't have the right plumbing, and stay in quotes here, or you're not operationalizing your technology stack to correctly to begin with, you'll never get to the stages of optimizing or differentiating your business. You'll just never get there. And we've seen this. We've seen organizations get stuck for a long time. It's happened early stages in our business while we're trying to help customers because we weren't completely astute or what was required and needed in order to actually enable them for this to happen. And so it's really, really important that you do the right things first. You go slow, not fast. And you really understand the problems that you're solving for to begin with so that you can get maximum ROI on your investment, make easy business cases to support those that you need to, convince to get a change like this underway. But then you can really utilize the platform, the reporting, the process flow, the configurability that Salesforce brings to truly optimize your business. And it really makes significant differences to those that get this right. We've seen some of our customers grow 300%, 400%, 500% year on year because they've done the right things in the right way. So it's significant and powerful.
Yeah, it's an amazing journey that's done. And thanks for being a trailblazer and kind of lighting, and thanks for sharing the vision with everyone else, because I think that's what's so great about our Ohana is that we want everyone to succeed and trailblazing. So you're trailblazing and leading the path for others to follow in the Lumary footsteps.
Yeah, no, it's look, we're very grateful. I mean, it was by accident that we got into healthcare, and by accident, I think I came across Salesforce. But as soon as I did, I realized the power of it and couldn't wait to build something that was productized and couldn't wait to help, the community. I think healthcare is a natural fit for me personally, but I know that our team is with us not just because of what we did, the job that they're doing, but the impact that they're making to the community. And so that's what drives us. Because it's not always the funnest stuff to build out, but it's definitely the most impacting things. So yeah. So we got a bit of Q&A, or
yeah, absolutely. I would love to. If there's any questions from the audience, I know that there's a couple. I see a few friendly faces here.
It's all good. I understand. Oh, you've got one.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can't. I think it was our biggest challenge. Could you hear that?
The biggest challenge on the journey. Oh yeah. So what the question was?
Biggest challenge.
Yeah, the biggest challenge on the journey.
I think just education. Keeping everyone informed, all key stakeholders. I mean, without the people in our business, our customers, our partners in Salesforce, without that level of sharing and developing together, I think is what sets it apart. So it's paramount to actually getting that level of conversation, which we spoke about today, because it's so easy to get lost in your day-to-day activities and you forget what can really help and drive and change the way things that are operating. So yeah,
that's a great question. I know we've got some great resources. Oh yeah, we've got another question here.
Yeah, it's a good question. I should repeat
the question.
Yeah. So what are the important elements of the operational part or the plumbing that is important to Lumary or to healthcare providers? I think for the most part it is understanding what is actually be able to be consumed for a healthcare provider organization. Sometimes we go too far into thinking that we want to do everything. And so starting with the actual basics, like ensuring that we've got good flow between employee, client management, plans, contract, financial claiming, right through the end-to-end process, gives us the operational base that we need in order to continue to extend on. And sometimes we can, when we know what's possible and achievable with Salesforce, we sometimes go a little bit too far. It's about making sure we understand the theme of what we want to accomplish and achieve, but doing those fundamental operational activities correct, and truly understanding what tech stack we're actually building out in the long term. Lumary is essentially replacing 60 or 70% of an organization's operation. So it's absolutely mission critical, and there's a lot of change that goes with it. And so understanding what your stack is today and what it looks like to want to develop to grow to in the future is really important to ensure you've got the right processes and the resources involved to model that out correctly. And so, yeah. Joseph, thank you so much.
We're going to be at your booth,
Yes.
which is just right around the corner here.
Yes.
And we'll be answering, if you have additional questions you didn't want to shout out, come see both of us and we'll be there.
Yeah. And if you don't want to come and ask me any questions, you can come and look at Brandon's shoes, because he's been showing them off all conference. And so, we'll be happy just to have a chit chat. Yeah, it's all good. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Lumary, better well-being through technology.